Before you can modify the Super Smash Bros. Brawl, you need to have two things. BrawlBox, the new version, and the old version of BrawlBox. The reason why you need the old version of BrawlBox is because the new version of BrawlBox has a glitch where you cannot edit 3D models. So you need the old version to do that. But you also need the new version to modify things like the character selection screen. Now, before you get started, you need to know the difference between the old version of BrawlBox and the new version of BrawlBox. You need to know the user interface, how to use it, and what to do with it. So for today, I'm just going to be showing you the user interface for the old version of BrawlBox and the new version. So here, this is the basically the home thing. This is where all your files are going to be. This is where you have all your codes, and then this is also where other things will be, like your textures, your models, and your also your MS bin files. So first of all, when you go to new, you can see you can create a new archive file. Now when you create a new archive file, this can get really hard because this requires you to do a lot of coding. So I really don't recommend you even do new archives. And right here is a BRRES. A BRRES is usually used in the replay menu or the stage builder menus or other types of menus, and a lot of things that require textures. Right here, as you can see, is a BRSTM audio stream. The BRSTM audio stream is the Nintendo Wii's audio type. Now, of course, in order to use a BRRES or a BRSTM audio stream, you need to have a .wav file of some sort. So if you do not have a .wav file, you cannot do this. So right here, as you can see, is the menu for the editing or for importing BRSTM files. As you can see here, there's the basic info like frequency or samples and stuff like that. I recommend you don't mess with this unless you really know what you're doing. So of course, if you play the song, it'll play it, and yeah. So I'm not going to if I press OK, it's going to import the file. And now when the file is done importing your .wav file to a BRSTM file, now you can play your song, listen to it. Sometimes it will be perfect, sometimes it won't sound right. So, and sometimes it will not work properly. Now, as you can see here, this is a bunch of coding stuff you don't want to mess with, because unless you really know what you're doing. You have the encoding, all that stuff, the channels, and I recommend you don't mess with it. So when you're done, you're going to want to click File and Save, but the thing is, if you click Save As, and then you save it, and you want to save the song as a you know, like a song name for Super Smash Bros. Brawl, for example, C08, which is the Hyrule Field thing. If you save it as that name, it's not going to work. So you have to save it as something else. So for example, I'm just going to put this in my music folder and name it whatever, and then save it. So now it's just a bunch of letters, and I'm going to go to my music folder. And as you can see right here, here it is. So here's what you're going to want to do. If you're going to want to replace a song, you're going to want to name it exactly that song. So for example, I'm going to name this C08. If you name it C08 or whatever, then it will not work. It will corrupt the file type, not sure why. But if you're going to save it as a name that Super Smash Bros. Brawl uses to, you know, figure out what song to play, like, for example, C08, it will corrupt the file, so you're going to want to name it C08 or whatever after doing that. Moving on, we're going to click File, New, and then we're going to click U8 File Archive. A U8 file archive is usually used for scene data for the cameras or the the scene data for like the lighting and stuff for all the stages. This of course is very complex, so I don't recommend you do anything with it. When you click File and then Open, you could see where you could open all your files. You can open tons of different files. So for example, I'm just going to open the file that we just used earlier, and now we have opened it, and we can do whatever we could want with it. When you click File and then Close, what it will do is it will go back to the regular home menu and it will close whatever file you had open. And if you click Exit, of course it just exits out of the program. When you go to Tools and then Settings, it brings you to where it can show all of the file types. So if you really want to know what all the file types, you can just look through here. I don't recommend you do anything with it though, because it messes with the program. And here you have Help and About. You can see who made it and what it's for. Moving on from the old BrawlBox, we're going to go to the new one, and I'm going to show you the new user interface. The new BrawlBox has a lot of different features, and it also has a much better BRSTM audio stream import than the old one. So it will sound a lot better, and it won't corrupt. Okay. So as you can see here, here's BrawlBox 0.78. Now sadly, when you try to open model files, it doesn't work on this version because there's a glitch. So that's why you need the old version to do model editing for your characters or stages, or collision editing. So as you can see here, things have changed a little bit. You now have plugins and added in here. So right here, if you click File, as you can see, it's all just put into one little area here. So now, instead of just choosing these four or whatever, you can now choose it in categories. So first of all, you have your ARC file archive, pretty usual file type for Wii games. You have your BRRES resource pack, which is usually used for characters. You have your UI file archive. You also have a TPL texture archive. I'm not really sure what this really does, so I wouldn't recommend mess with that. And here in audio, you have your BRSTM audio stream, and here is pretty much the same as the old one. It's the same import, but it's so much better. It does it quicker, and it does it a lot better. Moving on from that, we're gonna go click File and then New, and then we're gonna go to Particle Effects. So right here you have your EFLS effect list. This is new from the old BrawlBox. So if you want to edit EFLS, REFF or REFT files, then you need to have the new version of BrawlBox. Now, obviously these are all for effects, like, you know, like when Pikachu does his, you know, his Thunderbolt attack, it does like a little particle thing with it. That's what that is for. So here in Tools, you still have your settings. I recommend you don't mess with that. And as you can see, you can open up a lot more files. So here in Tools, you also have a code manager. Now this is really hard, and this is meant for GCT code editing, which is like basically say you want to edit you want to make an extra character slot for your select character menu. The only way to do that is with GCT codes, because in order to add new character slots, you have to use character slots already in the data that is unused to add more. So that's what GCT codes are. You have to add that in yourself, and I don't recommend doing it because it's complicated. It's just complicated, and if something's wrong or it can't be it's not good. It's good, but it's not really easy. So here we have, you can now run scripts, which I'm not sure what it does, but it runs scripts. You could also reload your plugins, and then you could also run a plugin too. And a plugin is a text0 file, but I've never done a plugin ever. So as you can see in help, you have your about and stuff like that. And then you have check for updates, which is a brand new feature. So if there's ever an update, it will connect to the server and look for an update. Now, of course, you now know how to use the BrawlBox user interface. Now, there's a lot more things to cover in the future, but for now, this is it.